Hello and welcome back. And today we're going to talk about found stamps. So I've got my desk covered with a bit of I guess butcher paper type thing to keep it a little bit cleaner. And yeah, I've got some ink pad and thought we'd just look around the house and see what we can find to stamp with to make backgrounds for our junk journaling. Hi, I'm Scribbles and welcome. I'm just going to start with a push pin just on some, what is this called? Packing paper. I think this is like the dollar store type paper when you buy glass or whatever. So you can see a good way to do this, there is a line on this. So a good way to do this is to turn the thumbtack as you go, so you're not getting the exact same print each time. And of course, we can try and do some a little lighter, a little heavier, that kind of thing. So thumbtack works pretty well. You have a surface to hold on to, well, a sharp surface, a point to hold on to, and you can change colors. You can remember to turn it if you've got that line on there that's kind of leaving a mark. It kind of looks like a top of a screw. Be careful not to do that. There we are. A couple more here. And I also have 3x5 cards, so you can try some things on here and see how that's working as we go. And then these will be ready-made backgrounds for your journaling. It's also good to get it off the edge like this every once in a while. That's another thing this background can be good for. Background paper is letting me get off the edge. There. Now, I'm not sure how well some of these are going to work. I'm not sure how well they're going to work with just ink. Some of them might need paint. This is lid to, I don't know, hairspray or something like that that I just kept to draw around. Oh, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good with that color. It looks like a coffee stain. So what we can do is overlap these if we want to, and you can make a geometric print or you can just make a mess. Either one works for me. You can make a Venn diagram like I didn't mean to, but I did. Keep going with these. Change colors again. You can make them lighter, darker. Try it out here. Not bad. You know, this might be good for I might try this something like a airmail stamp. Find do it like this, and then get something that's smaller and do another one inside. You can overlap these quite a bit and then do like dots or flowers or something, draw something in there. All right, that one works pretty well. More, clean that off. All right, let's see what else we have here. This is a piece of wood, just wood cut I got from the store. I probably had a multi-pack of these. I don't even remember why I have them. But what I did was attached it to a clothespin. I'm not sure if we're gonna like a full solid print of a circle, but let's try. Oh, not bad. It's got texture to it, being wood. And you can see when I turn it over here, it's not filling in the middle very well. It's really thin, so it's probably warped somehow, but we can try and fill it in a little more. Okay. And then you could even fill in one of these circles if you wanted to. Let's do this one over here that's by itself. Oh, that is about the same size as the lid I was using. Well, I didn't mean for it to be. I kind of wanted it to be smaller. Yeah, because now it just looks like an accident a little bit because didn't line it up perfectly, but I didn't really want it to be lined up perfectly either. Okay, let's see on here again. Not bad. I really like the texture it's got. And again, turn it around. Put one on here. Got a really good texture to it. In fact, I wonder if we just smush it around and not keep it completely clear. That's interesting. It's almost like chalk. Oh, there's still more coming off. on this. So it might be a good way to just, oh yeah, okay. It's got a very chalky look to it. Interesting. Good way to play around with a way to make stamps without buying stamps, right? And again, you might be able to do watered down paint if you've got acrylic paint instead of stamps. Okay, this is bubble wrap. And I happen to know this works pretty well. There we go. I will not hit my camera. I will not hit my camera. All right, let's try it on. Let's get an E3 5x5 index card. We'll just call it that. Index card. And let's go on the back. Pretty good. Yay for bubble wrap. All right, really don't know how this one's gonna go. So I picked black to make this, which is probably gonna show up well on camera, but it kind of looks like a spider. These are pipe cleaners. This is an old applesauce container. I keep these generally to like do watercolor in them before I recycle them. So I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but yeah, sorry for the spider look. All right, let's see what happens if we tap some ink on there. Ooh, it's fuzzy, which I thought it might be. I thought about putting something on here that was more like wire, but eh, I decided I didn't want something that's skinny. Try a crisscross here. Well, that's a little more faint, but it worked. You could make a plaid out of that. Okay. Turn this around so we have the other side. And since it's hollow here, you can push from the inside. If you wanted a more dark texture. I could almost see that turning that into a beehive. Try the other direction again. See? Yep. More plaid crisscross. That works better than I thought it would. Yay! All right. And then clean it off a bit. Add it. Whoops, that's not the one I already had the texture on. There we are. Get more of that ink off. And then later, if I need aged paper, we've got it. And that's pretty clean. Not too bad. All right. These are done. This is done. All right. This, again, I've seen this idea more with paint, but we're going to try the Q-tips. Let's just try again with ink. We're going to keep it all ink for now just to see how they compare. If I have it in the camera. Not too bad. All right. I'm going to just do a bunch there to kind of fill in that whole section. Not bad. Put it on here just once and see. Okay, so it's this section right here. So smaller than the bubble wrap, much more pointed, I guess. But I've seen people make like maybe a flower design out of that. So that's an option. Let's clean this off a little bit. Okay. All right. This is a plastic fork, which I have used in the past more with paint. Let's try it with just the ink. Ooh, that's got skinnier lines than any of the others we've done so far. I wonder if I could get them straight enough. If I wanted to do lines that were more like these lines here, let me see if I can line it up a little bit. Nope. They go outward like the rays of the sun. That's cool. As long as you know that. They go outward. And let's see what happens to crisscross a little bit. Not bad. As long as you don't care about perfection, because those are definitely not really even. They definitely have the outward, I guess. Like I said, rays from the sun. So you could do it all the way around something like this. All right. That's pretty clear, pretty good. All right. I don't know if I expect much from this makeup sponge. Um, it has been used, but not for makeup. So this is all just paint or ink. Let's see what happens with the skinny end. Try it on my 3x5 card. Alrighty. It's actually not bad. A little light, but that's okay. Let's try it on here. It could be an interesting vertical line. It's very light, very faint. Let's try the other end though, where it's better. Of course, we could do the wedge. I probably should do the wedge. Let's try that. Okay, that's got a lot of texture to it actually. Not bad. And then the bigger end, back up here. Yeah, that kind of looks like a piece of tape you tore off or something like that. Good bit of texture on it. I like that. Let's see, dark out there. So, okay. Similarly, I have some wooden blocks. Let's see what our texture is like with these, if any. Let's put in here. Okay, much more rough texture than the sponge had. Let's try it a little bit lighter. Okay, and rubbing it, we definitely get a swirly mess. Okay, that's a wooden block. All right, we do have, okay, this isn't actually an eraser. So you click it, you get the big eraser here you can use, but the other end is hollow. So instead of using a solid circle like with the thumbtack, let's see what happens if you do hollow. In fact, I wanted to kind of do hollow inside these. Yeah, not bad. And this could be any sort of smaller lid. If you find a lid around your house that's small, like a pen cap maybe. And this could be maybe like a flower if you did this in different colors. Okay. This one, not bad. Okay. I also have the end of a paintbrush. See how small this is. Oh, that's pretty small. It reminds me of the Q-tip. This one you can just do on your own. And you can make them bigger and smaller, right? So if you just tap, it's pretty small. If you tap and move it around, then it's bigger. Make spots on an orange over here. All right. Take that one off a little bit. These are not necessarily found stamps right here. These are ones I made a long time ago based on things online, right? Like this is glue. And I used a gold, so it stuck on gold pen stayed on there. But let's try this. This is hot glue, I think it was, to make this design. Just glued onto some sort of cardboard I got in something. It's just really thick cardboard. All right, let's try this. I seem to remember this not being the best. I think because I couldn't get the glue to be the same height, right? This way. So whatever's sticking up is what gets the ink. So you end up with something like that. So if you're better at making those stamps than I am, it might work for you. Now, due to that, I made this stamp, which is just nuts, nuts and bolts. This is just the nuts, and they're all the same height. So this one I think did work better because of that. Try this. Now this is a found item. I just stuck it on cardboard so I could do 5 at a time, however you want to assemble them. Or you could just use one. You could just ink one and fill in little spots with that. I think that's the only ones that worked out of that set. I did try a piece of foam that was already cut. I didn't cut that out. It was already came that way. Probably a sticker originally or something. If I can get it inked well enough, I can see already it's not taking ink in the middle at the minute. Let's try again. Oh, okay. Not bad. So this is pretty much a found object. Just you wouldn't even have to stick it on cardboard. Okay, let's see. I have, okay, I don't know if you'll have anything like this, but this is kind of old, but I've grown up with this in my family for some reason. This is a ruler. And so I thought, that's an interesting shape on the end. Let's try it. And there we go. It's either a really skinny airplane or a car symbol. What happens if we put more of it? I don't know my cars, sorry. I don't know which car. Got a BMW or something? I don't really know. We did more of them. We could make some sort of background with that, huh? Not too bad. Interesting. Came up with this the other day. Well, came up with it. I just tried it and it was pretty cool. So I have this white pen. It's the Signo, I think it is. Yeah, Signo. And this is plastic canvas. Anybody remember plastic canvas or still use plastic canvas? And all I did was just do some little, fill in, but really it ends up looking like a circle because the pen barely fits in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do like a 5x5 grid. And then we took it off. Looks pretty good. Look at that. And you can turn it, you could cut it out and use it as a diamond. You do less or more. You don't have to do them in a grid. You could just do them random. Just put it like this and just hit a few spots and see how that looks. Yeah. So plastic canvas, how about that? Again, found items. See what you have around. I tried, not exactly this, but something similar to this. I think it was the wooden clothespin. Let's try this. and see if we can make a line with it or not. Oh, that makes two. Okay, because these aren't exactly even. Well, they're close. So if you had maybe a more fun color, you can put that all up and down the side of the page, or you could even make lines to write on top of with that. And they don't need to be perfectly even. It's more handmade if it isn't perfectly even. Nice. I hope this gives you some ideas. Sit down and do a mass make, and then these are all things we can use in our next journal. So I hope that helps. I want to see what you come up with. If you have a found item in your house and you can make a stamp out of it, please do share it. Please show it to me. Let me see. And remember, start simple and simply start.